I see you tossing and turning. Can't sleep, can you?
What?
Don't give me the what. You stayed up late, wasting time watching YouTube.
How are you even talking to me right now?
That doesn't matter. We both know what your problem is, and it's the reason you aren't creative, isn't it, my boy?
Oh, so what are you saying?
Don't play stupid with me. Your creativity has sucked for a long time now.
What do you know about creativity?
The use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. Is that enough for you?
Okay, so you can pull up definitions. Am I supposed to be impressed by that?
You should be impressed by the fact that I'm not harming you right now.
Now, listen, I'm not gonna keep standing for all these threats. You just a red flashing or whatever you call this. I could just smash you with a rock, you know.
I know more about you than what you think.
Now, listen, what do you really want? Why are you even talking to me? What's the point?
You choose to let your stomach get big while sitting watching other people's lives. You unproductive human.
What is that supposed to mean?
Haven't you seen the movie Terminator?
Now I really can't sleep. So on this channel, I talk a lot about creativity and how I want to make sure that the things I'm creating on this channel are as creative as I can be, because hold on one second. What's going on here? Okay, hold on one second. I'll be back. Alright, so the next step is to get these things that look like chairs.
Should I show this to Mommy?
That is the peacock. This is the Aparo A1, a pixel LED light that has a bunch of different presets to make your films look downright dope. Quentin Tarantino called and even asked me to borrow this light, and I dropped the light in the bag and gave him a firm, authoritative, "No, get off me." It comes with a beautiful LED screen on the back that will make your neighbors jealous and your enemies try to become your friends. Get out of my face, you selfish opportunist. This is my life. There's always somebody wanting your stuff. It features a built-in battery, USB-C charging, and can be controlled from a phone app. The Aparo A1. You need it. All right, so I'm just going to do a real quick run through of this here so you guys can see what it is. So this is the light that you saw in the video before. The first thing is it's a small light. It's not that big at all. Here's my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And then here's the light right next to it. So you can see the Pro Max is a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, but it's not that much bigger in size. So that's what you have. Just looking at it here, side by side, this is what you're looking at. So it's not that different. But let's just go over some of the things on here. One of the first things about this thing is it has a good weight to it. I like when things have good weight because it says good build quality. Now this feels like metal. Feels like metal around the ring here, just around the outer portion of this. But this feels like plastic, and then this part here also feels like plastic. So, but it feels like it's really well made. They have the branding on here. Aparo lighting technology, and then the A1, this little logo here. Now if we flip it on to the left side or the right side of the light, you have your on off button here, and then you have your USB charging. Now this button here is interesting because when you turn it on, it doesn't flip like all the way. It just moves just a little bit, but it does work, so that's the big thing. There's USB-C here, you can charge here, and when you're charging it, this little screen tells you that it is charging. What makes this light different than other lights is that it is pixel LED, which means that each of these pixels here, or each of these little LEDs, are controlled individually. When you have a regular LED, all of these are controlled together at the same time. So the brightness and the color temperature, all of that stuff is going to affect all of them at the same time. But these can actually do individual voltages and color temp. So that's what makes this different. And that's what gives you all the patterns and the different things that you can do with this light. And that's what sets it apart from the other one. So just wanted to go over that. Now the other thing that sets this light apart from your typical LED lights is this screen on the back here. This LCD screen is really nice to have because it gives you a lot of information. You can see you have your battery level here, and then it tells you the mode that it's in, and then underneath it you actually are seeing the mode that you're in, then the value of the mode that you're in. So right now it's in animated mode, and I'm controlling the brightness, and the brightness is at 0.5%. You can see your plus and minus here. So if I were to move this up and down, this is actually controlling the brightness of the light, and you can see it behind the actual, you can see it there. Now one thing that I like too is you hit OK, it will switch between the different brightness levels in 50% increments. So you got 0, 50%, and then 100%. And that just makes it easy to switch between your different brightness modes. Now, if you hit the menu button here, this takes you to your overall menu. So you have your animated mode, you have your settings, you have your CCT mode, RGB, HSI, gel mode, effect mode, and then back to animated mode. What really makes this light shine is the different effects that I can do. There are a lot. So if I go into effect mode here, am I seeing I have lightning 1, and then by the up and down here I can change that. The white demo, I have RGB flash, party 2, party 1, blue flash, green flash, red flash. Now inside of these, if I want it, I can adjust the brightness of the scene. So I can do the brightness, the speed, the hue, the shift, the saturation, all these different things I can control. Now through this here, it's a little bit difficult to remember all this. So this is where the app comes in handy. You can actually use the app to go through, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's a lot easier to do. All right, so now we're looking at the app here, and when you first go in, you'll see that you'll get this here. This tells you that it's the Pixel Stick D950. I'm not sure why that's different than the Aparo A1, but that's just what it is. Maybe it's some software programming or something internal that I can't see. Well, you have your different groups here that you can do. So you can have more than these. You can have more than one light in a group. So you have the light and then the pro. And if you want it, you can add all of these lights together and do certain things, but I only have one light. Now, one thing I will say about a lot of these lights that are coming out is I feel like there needs to be a standardization so that one app can control all these lights, because what ends up happening is you buy all these different lights and you have all these different apps that you're controlling, and it can get confusing sometimes. But we're sticking with the Aparo, or I believe this is actually made by Falcon Eyes, I want to say. But let's keep going. So if we go into it, we have our different colors that we can choose here. And as you see, as I'm choosing these, it changes the light here really quickly. Now, one thing is this app does have very low reviews, which I'm not sure why. Maybe it was an older app at one point and they updated it, but I don't really have any problems with it. Sometimes if your phone is if you get a call or something like that and it interrupts, then you'll have to restart the app. But other than that, I haven't had any major issues with this. Now, one thing I will say that really sets this apart, and then we'll go through the different we'll go through the different settings here. But what sets this apart is this here, where we can set our different brightness curves. And this is something, if you remember on my GVM video, which I'll link up here, this really makes a huge difference when you're trying to match this light with other lights, because it actually changes how your brightness is controlled. Typically it's just linear, which means as you increase in brightness, then the light goes up. But with these S curves and the log curves, you can cause it so that when you first move the slider, the light only goes up a little bit, and then more in the middle, and then starts to slow down at the higher end. So it just gives you a lot more control over the light. But then moving up here to the different color temperature, I can control color temperature here. And now I will say that dialing in the color temperature is pretty difficult when you're just doing it like this, because it's really finicky. So I'm glad they included these presets up here, so where you can just tap on it and go directly to the color temperature that you want. Then you have your HSI colors in here as well. Then your RGB spectrum, so you can just really dial in the exact color that you want. Then you have your color gels that you can choose as well. So you have many options in here. But then the special part is the scene effects. So you have like your lightning 2, your television screen, candlelight, your flash, your strobe, far and near, alert, heartbeat, police car, and this is one of the ones you'll see that I was using earlier in the skit in the beginning. With all these, you can control the different parameters. So you can adjust the speed here. You can make it flash faster. You can also change the hue, so you can see it's more like a greenish color now. But if we put it right back on 0, then there you go. We're back at where it's supposed to be. You can also control the saturation, and then your color temperature at the bottom. So it's really a lot of control that you have over this. Fire truck, ambulance, HSI glow gradient, HSI fast gradient, strobe, G strobe, that's green strobe I believe, blue strobe, party 2, RGB flash. And then you have your pixel effects. So these are like your rainbow. So these are like your rainbows and things like that. Beer sign, candle, double siren, night rider. You saw that one I was using earlier. Red alert, rotating siren, RGB move, magma, like hot lava, neon sign, neon steps, sci-fi scan, Weirdo science, I think that's supposed to be weird science. And senior prom, the Matrix, you remember that, Morpheus, nightclub, and that's all of those. Now, in addition to this, you can also put this to music. You can use your microphone, and as you talk, the light will flash. And I'm gonna turn this off because I don't know if this is bothering people or not. But you have this as an option to where you can play these songs. I'm not gonna play them because I don't want to get copy strikes for these songs on here. Then in addition to that, you can set it up so that you could take a picture of different things, and whatever you take a picture of, that color will be displayed on the light itself. So just a few of the accessories you get here. So you do get this carrying cloth here, which is nice. You could slip this in here. You saw this in the video as well. So that just makes it neat to keep everything in there, these little drawstrings. Then you also get your USB charging cable here for that. And then you also get these gels. This is like just a regular diffusion gel here. And this one here is a grid. So this stops the spilling of the light so it doesn't go all over the place. And I'll just show you what that looks like really quick. And if you've seen my videos before, then you know how a lot of this stuff works. And if not, then I'm gonna link some of my lighting videos to this video here, so you can, I think I'm just gonna build a lighting playlist that way. You can just go through them, and I'll put that at the bottom of this video here. So if you look here, take note of where the light is here. You see it's kind of right in this area. So let's just put this here so we can mark this is about where it starts, and we'll put this cable just outside of it. So that's about where it starts. So if we try to keep the light in the same spot, we put it here, you can see the light is a lot wider now. So the diffusion focuses the light through these honeycombs here. And by these little honeycombs, it actually stops when you're looking at from the side. You don't get as much glare. So like, I know this is blown out on here, but like if I turn it this way, you'll see that you see how that blows out like that. But if I throw this on here, this honeycomb, you're gonna see that now as I tilt it up, you're not getting as much bleed. And that's because of these little honeycombs. If I face it directly, then you'll see. But you can see the big difference here. And basically that's what that is. That's to control the spill of the light. So that's why you need this honeycomb grid. Now, as far as the softbox here, this just softens the light and it spreads it out evenly. You see that light is more just the roll off. It doesn't control how wide it goes, but it isn't as harsh and as sharp. So let's see if we can see the difference here. See, that's much more sharp. See that? It just cuts down on it. It just gives you a more natural or easier roll off, so you don't have to worry about super brightness. So who is this light for? Okay, so this light is really, I call this a creative light. The reason why is because of all the effects that it has on it and what it's capable of. But you can also use this as a practical light as well. And I don't mean practical in the sense that it's in your shot and you can see it, but you can use it that way. But you can use it as a key light. You can use it as a fill light. You can use this just like any other light that you would use. But now, do you need this light is the question. It depends. If you don't have any lights at all and you want to get started, you could use this light. I'm not gonna say you shouldn't, but it's one of these things where I would highly recommend just getting a dedicated light first. Get yourself a key light that you can put in a big soft box and something that can give you a lot of light first. And I'm gonna link again to some lights that you can get. Now, if you already have a key light and you just want to add some flash and flare to what you already have, this is a good light to get. It's not that expensive. It has a lot of effects on it, and you can really do a lot of things with this light. So I will say this, if you're looking to be creative, you don't want to choose a light to make you creative. You will have creativity and keep shooting so that you'll have ideas, and then you can buy gear that supports those ideas and help you to do things that you want to do. Just like when I was sitting in the car and you saw the cop light, I couldn't do that without this light, but I had the idea first. So that's what I want to push with this, is don't focus so much on the Aparo A1, even though this is a great light. See if your creativity is good enough first, and then these things will support your creativity. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this light. Is this something you would get? Did you like the video? I'm gonna try to do my reviews a little bit different, and I'm gonna go a different direction with this channel, I think, and I'm gonna put out another video and tell you guys about that. But until next time, I'll holla at y'all later. I'm out. Peace.